The vibrant green mountains of Kashmir could easily be the backdrop for anyone's idea of paradise. Since the 13th century, the Kashmir Valley has been the home to Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and Buddhists who have lived together in relative harmony and friendliness. But the boundless beauty of Kashmir belays the turmoil that has increasingly disrupted the communities in the valley. For the past 55 years, the Kashmir Valley has been the site of bitter conflict between Indian government forces, Pakistani forces, and militant groups. Since 1989, the controversy over Kashmir has taken a violent turn in the valley, claiming over 30,000 lives. The long-term effect of this military tug-of-war can be seen in the faces of its victims, the people who live in the shadow of the Himalayan mountains.
Well, I was quite confused, and I was really ambivalent about coming. And I had very little support in my life in terms of friends and family who were saying, "Oh, I think it's great, Anna, you should go." Most people were saying, "Oh, that's madness, Anna, you shouldn't go."
Anna Richley of British Columbia is a mental health specialist. She accepted a volunteer assignment with Médecins Sans Frontières Canada in the summer capital city of Srinagar, Kashmir. Her task was to implement a training program to build the capacity of local health workers to provide counseling at a village level to people suffering from traumatic stress.
I had gotten so interested in the work, and I really wanted to come and do the work, that I thought, even if I come here and I'm here for 2 weeks and I decide that I can't stay, at least I'd come and had a look. But one of the staff that I met during the briefing had said to me, "Yes, well, we're concerned that they might start shelling in Srinagar, and I think that what we'll have to do in the house is build a bunker." And I looked at him and I said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not going in any bunker. And if they're going to start building bunkers, then I just want to go home." And he said to me, "Well, it's good to have a bunker, because if they do start shelling, then you're best to stay on the ground, because most likely if you're in a plane, they'll shoot it down." So that was sort of my introduction to have a nice time in Kashmir. And
mental health was absolutely not known to us. Let us be very frank. We knew mental problems, and we would always associate mental health problems with psychiatry. And this part of the country did not have many mental health experts, but the bulk of the people who living in various rural areas and far-flung areas had no access to that hospital.
so this is the women's ward, and as you can see, they're locked in the ward, and next door the nurses and orderlies are spending time. And the problem isn't that there isn't enough staff. There's a lot of staff, but the problem is lack of commitment and motivation amongst the staff. And a number of the women are actually chained to their beds, and they don't unchain them to let them go to the bathroom. So they lie in their beds for sometimes days and hours at a time, and they're not allowed up to go to the bathrooms. Well, when I first came into Kashmir and I started to hear about the magnitude of the problems, and individuals started to talk to me about the problems that they faced, I felt overwhelmed. I felt like, what can we possibly do, you know, because there was only 2 of us here who were providing mental health training and mental health support to the whole population of the Kashmir Valley. And at moments I could have felt like, what can we do? You know, it was just so overwhelming. And so what I did was I shifted my focus from this huge picture to a very small, what are we doing in this moment, in this hour, in this day? And in every day I looked for a small piece of light or something that felt like it was hopeful and that there was some movement for us. The village that we're going to this morning is called Zohama, and The surrounding villages are quite dangerous in that there's lots of militants in those areas, so they've asked us never to travel beyond Zohama. Lots of the villages are still held by militants, and there's always a risk of kidnapping in those areas. So we're quite careful as we travel out to the villages. And do you feel differently about your work now since you've done that training? Yeah? What feels different? We've just finished a 2-week training with village health workers, and we provide supervision and ongoing training for their work in basic counselling. And I just felt like in all of them, there's 9 of them there was a very subtle shift, and the shift was in their energy level, in their confidence level, in the way that they were asking questions about counselling, in the way that they've been working with clients since the training. And I feel like their development as counsellors is really starting to flourish.
Before doing this training, if we would just hear about a grenade attack, we would never think that it would have its impact later for years. We really ignored all those things. We would just register the physical things. But after getting this training, we really think it's all related to this thing. It's all related with the conflict.
Why did I stay when things got difficult? Because things have gotten really difficult at times, and I've continued to stay even when I thought, first bullet, first grenade, first shootout, I'm going home. So this is the corner right where this incident happened, where I was harassed by the security personnel, and as I tried to go up the road, they surrounded me and they wouldn't let me pass, and they opened the back of the Jeep and they told me to get in the Jeep. And they asked me again, get in the Jeep. I said, no, I'm not getting in the Jeep. He said, my men and I want to ask you some questions. They said, where are you going? And I told them I was just going for a walk. And they said, you can't go there, you have to get in the Jeep. And I finally said, no, I'm not getting in the Jeep. And I had the dog with me, and she was younger then. And I pushed through the circle that they had formed around me, and I started running back down the road. So as I arrived in the garden of the house, there was six men in the garden with guns. And again they said, you know, my men and I want to come and meet with you in your house, and they tried to push me towards the house. And I finally said, you have to leave. And at that time our guard came back, and they got in their Jeep and left. It's been at times incredibly stressful here, and I think my most powerful tool for dealing with the stress and the ongoing tension and the daily witnessing of violence and the daily hearing about traumatic stories has been meditation. And I feel like what meditation has done is it's provided me with a piece of really solid ground and made it possible for me to continue to stay here past the point where I thought it's too much. And meditation is helpful in lots of situations, but mostly in my life it's helpful because it allows me to be more present in every moment. And so because of that, my life feels richer. People throughout the globe are the same. I think the cultural overlay and the religious beliefs are different, but I think at the core people are the same in terms of their desire for peace and for happiness. You know, I feel committed to MSF. I feel committed to the team, the national team that I have here, and to the team of expats that I'm part of. I feel committed to the village health workers that we've trained and I supervise on a weekly basis. And I feel committed to myself to follow through on something that I said I would do.